Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I will teach you how to pose for aesthetic pictures without it looking awkward. And I just gotta tell you, first of all, everybody that starts off taking pictures, that want to take aesthetic pictures and want like viral posts such as this that I've made that have basically nearly 200 likes, super simple, taken in 30 seconds, right? Just simple pictures and want them to go viral. We all started like this guy. We just standing there and we felt so awkward. Like you just felt like everybody's looking at you like, oh, like if I post this, everybody's gonna feel like I'm weird and stuff like that. But the fact is we all start that way. And I want you to be aware of this and not to be stressing yourself over this, because I wasn't born instantly confident or anything like that with posing. Oh hell no, I wasn't. I sucked for such a long time. I remember when I even tried to make like a talking video, I would record for like 10 seconds. I would look at it and I would cringe so bad. I would throw the phone on the bed and be like, I'm actually like fucked, you know? But same as with fitness, with repetitions, there becomes, you just get used to it, right? To the pressure and like just doing the thing, and it becomes easier. It just becomes easier because you're more used to it, right? And again, these are all my pictures and I will get right into everything, but this is just a big disclaimer. It will take some little bit of practice, but it becomes so much faster once you understand that it's completely normal. And how I will actually teach you how to pose and like actually like make those aesthetic pictures such as I made here. It's super simple, but it's all planned out. Just means you're gonna copy. It has a story to it, but it looks like it looks nice. Sure, I'm very shredded, you have a nice physique, yada yada. You can say, oh, looks yada yada. But even the average Joe, if they would do something like this, woman and everybody would just like find some type of interest into it. Whatever your reason is, right? It just looks clean, it looks crisp, it looks like it tells a story, it looks homey, you know? It's storytelling, and that's how you make good aesthetic viral posts, but I'll get into that maybe later, right? Maybe you're just on the beach and want to show off your body, but make it look a little bit seamless so it doesn't look like too much in your face like a gym bro, right? Like here. But again, it looks clean, it looks good. Why does mine look awkward? And I will all get into that straight away. Here too, just laying on the couch, just a normal daily activity, right? But it looks great, you know? Same here. I took this one, I'm not even kidding. I literally just took a fucking shit and I saw myself that I looked pretty fucking good because I was sick. And I took three or four pictures, snap, snap, 200k likes. It is really that simple once you understand things. Same here, right? So as I said, you need some repetitions, yada yada, but there is technique to it. There is some thought to it, and it's not that seamless as it looks. This all looks seamless, right? But it all has a plan. I saw a vision and then I executed it, and I also knew how to kind of move around my body to make things interesting, right? And to make them look kind of like realistic, but you know that it has that interest in it. So before I even talk, who the fuck am I? Bro? Who is this kid? Who is this talking to me like he knows everything? Okay. I make a living out of social media, these aesthetic pictures, and I make a living out of modeling, right? I've been doing this for quite a bit of my time on this planet, but I was not always a model, but I've been doing it for a few years. So I would like to think that I make a living out of knowing how to take pictures, knowing how to pose, knowing how to talk, and knowing how to just basically look great, right? I make a living out of that. And I think that's enough credit to be able to teach people this, because if I'm able to make a living out of it, why not you, right? And yeah, that's basically what I do. I'm a model and I also do social media. And obviously I have a school committee, link in bio if you want to work one-on-one with me, but I'll get into that later. First, let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of everything. How to pose without it looking awkward. So I took these pictures yesterday, right? And I will also talk about in a different video on how to choose a good background or how to know that this is a good place to do it. But if you want to learn to take aesthetic pictures, first learn how to pose, because that's everything. You know, you can have a beautiful background, but you gotta complement the background. You know, you gotta work with it. You know, this is when we saw this, I knew instantly, like, let's take out the phone and let's take pictures there, because this was just me walking around the beach, and I in the moment just saw this. I was like, this looks great. You know, and I took a bunch of these types of pictures, right? And what makes this picture good? If I would just stand there like this guy, you can see on my face that I feel kind of uncomfortable, that I'm in public and everybody's watching me. The people will be able to see in your eyes and in your movement. Whatever you feel is how the picture will turn out. I will repeat this. However you feel within that moment, you can see in the person's eyes and in the movement. People are very intelligent, and a lot of times you can even tell when somebody feels uncomfortable in a picture, right? So, but how do you get comfortable taking a picture? Again, repetitions, but I will also go deeper into that in the next video. This is about posing. So what makes a good pose? What makes the aesthetic background complement with you? How do you make it aesthetic? And in modeling, this is where we teach, let me scrap this, this one. There's one simple rule. Triangles. Adam, what the fuck are you saying? What do you mean with triangles? Is it some fucking Illuminati shit? No. Triangles is what makes a good pose. It is the movement. So what I like to say is, this is a very good picture. What does a triangle have to do with this? I will show you straight away. Do you see this? Oh, this is horrible. Do you see this arm? Just look at my mouse cursor. Look how there is a triangle here. Any type of pose that you want it to look good has to have an angle, has to have a triangle, I like to call it. Whether it's with your hands, with your legs, for example, here, or even here even. It has to have a triangle. And how do you make triangles, right? You don't just go like this or some dumb bullshit like that, right? Well, the easiest way is that you just move your body in a certain way and just move. I know it feels awkward when you're taking pictures to be doing type of movements, but just because it looks fucking weird in person does not mean it looks weird in pictures. Don't forget, your eyes are very different to a camera, right? A camera is one single angle, one frame, right? Eyes are multiple angles, multiple frames, right? So you are working with cameras, and that's a whole different game. Right? It's a whole different game. So whatever looks really, this looked probably really fucking awkward in person, but it looks great on camera because there's a whole big difference, right? Whether it's doing a triangle with your hands or like tilting your body in a certain angle to create some type of like motion, right? Some type of texture. You need to look like you're moving, and the best way, in my opinion, is to, when you're taking pictures, move. If you're a complete beginner, do natural movements. For example, let's set the space, right? Just really hear me out. Even close your eyes if this helps you with imagination. You want to take an aesthetic picture. You're at a very nice, beautiful, fancy restaurant, right? Maybe in somewhere in Bali, and there's a beautiful sunset behind you. You have a nice, beautiful like fit that just fits the background, and you want to take a picture where it looks like you are wanting to, like you're going somewhere, like you're like a man or a person on a mission, right? That's basically what it is, right? So what you're going to do is that you are actually going to walk, but you're going to walk very slowly, like very slow motion, because if you walk too fast, the picture's going to become blurry, right? Which can sometimes look cool, but we don't want that. We want it to look clean for now, right? We'll get into that later. So you will walk in slow motion. It looks so awkward in person, right? But it makes a great picture. Also, don't be over exaggerated. Don't be like trying to do like some like crazy walk. Just like, it's super simple. Be you, walk slowly, do the motions with slow motion. Every time I model, right? For example, for this shoe right here, for this clothing brand, right? It's slow motion. So it's like this. You hold it for a few seconds, and then you're, for example, like holding the shirt like this, and you hold it for a few seconds, or like this, right? It's completely different, right? But it's like you gotta go slowly. And as you saw, I'm doing all this. It creates an angle. But if you want to make something look natural, like this, you know, it looks like you're just stretching. You know, it looks like I'm covering myself from the sun or the wind here. You can make it look natural, right? So do natural movements, but add some type of shape to it. You know, a little bit over exaggerated. And also, when you're taking that picture, like people can tell your emotion through your eyes. Try to really get into character. That's another thing, is that like I could be doing all these poses, but if my eyes are like this, like I'm scared and like I'm in fear, like everybody's like judging me, then it's gonna look shit. You know, you kind of have to, like, what I like to call, flirt with the camera. Typically when you take aesthetic pictures, you just kind of like look at the picture like if you were looking at the like an attractive person. It's really feels super awkward, but that's just how this game works, you know. Same here. If you want to take something super casual, you know, it looks like I'm just like tied my shoe or something, you know. So many, this is a great example of a great picture. So many different angles. You have the police work. Okay, the pen just doesn't work. Excuse me. Again, I don't know if this works. Again, you have a triangle here. Then you have a triangle. Then you have a triangle also here with the legs, right? You see the movement. Even my my other arm that I have here is in an angle, you know, but I'm also flexing it, so it looks so I'm here to flex up my muscles, right? With it, without it looking too much in your face, it just looks natural, you know. And again, the outfit complements the background. So in summary, Adam, how do you actually make a non-awkward pose? This is exactly what I want you to do. Whenever you're taking pictures or a video or whatever it is, right, with an aesthetic background, I want you to do natural movements. Normally, if you were to, for example, you want a walking movement, walk as you normally do, right? But like, but do it in slow motion so you can again get the picture non-blurry, right? And as I showed you, it has to be in your eyes. You have to be in character. You cannot be scared, yada yada, unless it's part of the picture, because you can just tell and ruins the picture completely. You know, like when you're taking pictures, it's easier said than done. It will get easier as you do more repetitions, but just kind of forget it. Really try to just focus in the back what you're doing right now. It's hard. You think like everybody's looking at you. Nobody gives a shit. Everybody's got different problems. You don't give a shit about other people either, so why should they, right? So yeah, even this one, this was my first one of my first ever viral posts that I've ever done. This was in Berlin, and it was just with a homie. We just were hanging out till like 3 a.m. I was like, bro, this background looks kind of cool. Like, it has like a dark aesthetic to it, you know? And I asked him, like, can you take out your phone? And again, I just sat there and looks like I'm just chilling, you know, looking to the side, look like I'm just thinking about something, you know, while there's a nice background. That's all that there is basically to it. But you can see I am creating those angles again. If I'm just sat there like this, it looks fucking miserable and boring. See, here you can even tell I'm moving my actual arm here, right? And again, I'm spreading my legs out a little bit, right? Creating those angles, like relaxing my arm, letting the arm do the other thing. It all, I wish I could turn, I can. It all has like an angle to it. So in summary, you want to be creating triangles in poses. And the way that you do it is that you do natural movements, right? And a lot of the times, my biggest tip also is that never have your arms, again, never do nothing with your arms. Always let them do something. If you want to take a simple fit, right? I very excuse you, you might see my Spider-Man pants, right? But if you want to take a super simple fit, you will stand up, right? And instead of like being like, instead of being like this, right? You might grab like your belt, you know? And like now you have an angle, now you have a triangle here. Or you might like look like you're stretching behind, right? And you're grabbing your belt, you know? And then you have two angles. I hope you get the point. Never ever let your arms do nothing. Oh, camera. Never ever let your arms do nothing, because that's when it looks all awkward, and we just do not want that, right? Everything has a motion. Here, even there's motion. You can tell it looks like I just walked out. I just basically just walked out, right? In this angle, right? But also like, what kills this picture is that, sure, I'm not doing anything crazy, too crazy with my eyes. They're basically straight. They would have been, this picture would have been better if I had if I was making an angle of some sort of like the triangle, as I was saying. They're basically just sticks right now, right? They're literally like this. But what genuinely kills it is that my eyesight. It looks like I am telling something with my eyes, you know? That's why it's so super and effective. And also it just complements the background. It looks like I'm thinking about something, you know? And it just like, it looks super peaceful, you know? I have peaceful eyes, peaceful background. It complements it, right? And whenever you want to make a picture, for example, like this, you want to actually in your head think of something just like peaceful, like genuinely feel, be the character that is within that moment that you want to interpret in that picture. You know, if you want it to be badass, think of a moment where you genuinely were badass, and you will kind of see it in your eyes, and that is going to be what sells it, you know. But again, always do something with your arms, and always create those shapes. As I said, always create that triangle. It's always makes an interesting pose. It can make such a simple background of just some rocks and water, right? That looks great enough, right? But it adds that extra story, that just like you're adding that motion, you know? And motion is what tells the story. I really hope you understood this. If not, leave us some questions in down below. Again, if you want to work with me 101 when it comes to your fitness, when it comes to modeling, posing, aesthetics, social medias, everything like that, I do that. I can do that all for you. You will only work with me, no AI bullshit, right? And I will work 101 to make sure that you will learn how to get comfortable on camera, how to pose, how to find these creative backgrounds, how to be able to make viral posts that get you 200,000 followers on Instagram and 200K likes per post, right? You know, and how to have just something simple, even if you don't want the fame, how to like have an attractive Instagram. But let's be honest, social media is so important right now. Everybody judges you through social media, right? So when a girl or a boy looks at this, they're like, damn, like this guy looks like he's doing something with his life. But you could just be at home and play fucking Dead by Daylight all day. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what social media is. It is basically fake reality, but that's just kind of what we live in. But there's beauty in it because it's kind of art, you know. It is art, so it's really fun once you really get into depth of those things. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Again, I will do a final summary of today, right? If you want a pose to look good, create a triangular shape with your arms, with your legs. Even it can be with your neck, whatever it is. Add some movement to it, add some motion. If you're gonna do the poses, do them slowly. It looks awkward in person. Fuck that. Who cares? You have a hot Instagram picture and now you get the bitches, okay? All the fame, whatever you want, you know? That's all that matters, and you will get used to it once you see that it looks great, you know? So yeah. As I said, make those angles, add some motion. If you want to, for example, make a one where you're walking, do a very slow motion of walking. Otherwise, the picture will look blurry, which sometimes can look cool, but no, most of the time it's hard to get it right. It's pretty much on luck. You want to do that motion slowly. As I said, like do this, for example, this, you know, like as I'm doing here, that's from my modeling experience, that's what you want to be doing, right? So you want to always do something with your arms, whether it's like pretending that you're grabbing your belt, or you're leaning over a chair. Never have them straight on here. This picture is, their arms are pretty straight, so it does look pretty boring, but what again kills it is that my story is that my eyes tell the story here. That's exactly what I wanted in this picture. Just super simple, peaceful background, peaceful eyes, peaceful facial expression, and that's what sells it. Sure, you can say good looks, yada yada, but even if you're an average Joe, you can still make your post so much more attractive like this. Again, it's not about that I have some type of features on that I'm a model feature, what a face features, yada yada. It's the fact that I'm telling stories through my posts, and that's all that matters. And the way that you tell stories through posts is through motion, movement, not just having arms. If you have your arms here, it looks like you're doing fucking nothing, and that's why the posts suck, you know? And that's why it looks awkward. Always move. Don't be like over exaggerate like this. You don't have to do like model things that I do. If you want to make super simple things like this, you can. But here is the same exact rules. always have some type of motion, always create some type of angle, you know, and don't have to over exaggerate. Keep it natural. You know, you can do a little bit of mewing so you have that sharper jawline here, right? But, you know, that's what there is to it. Again, if you want to work with me one-on-one, I will leave my school community down below. I have some clients there that are absolutely killing it, and I am very proud of them, and I really hope you can be one of them too, whether it's through fitness, whether it's through posing, modeling, anything. I work in those regards, and you will work with me one-on-one. We will hop on a call. You will tell me exactly what you want, and I will make all those plans work for you in your favor towards your goals, right? And I will be able to help you with making aesthetic posts like this, and to help you make it go more viral, like I did for myself, and how I basically pay my bills. You could have that too, you know? So yeah, the school community will be down below, and all my other social medias down below, whatever you wanted to see. And if you have any questions, let me know down in the comment section. And yeah, I appreciate you. I hope you understood this. I hope it was clear. If not, again, let me know, and I can always make a part 2. It's not the end of the world, but I think I explained myself pretty clearly. All right, I appreciate y'all. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.